us tonight as we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts. Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Indianapolis. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. On first down, Wentz. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he'll get this one away just shy of the 45-yard line. This first drive looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Wentz. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, 56 yards. And the Colts on just 2 plays have taken the lead. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And the final number on Next Gen Stats, how about this? 71 yards through the air. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The lone touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Grover Stewart forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's at least a couple of times that they've tried to stretch the field here in this 1st quarter. They haven't been successful yet, but obviously they're going to keep trying, and maybe they'll find some seams underneath as this game progresses.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Fields. He's going to take another shot here. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A huge play there for Chicago. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
Out of the gun, Fields. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Bears! Jimmy Graham, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Rodgers on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Indy set to go on offense once more. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
I mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Wentz now on 1st down. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown. Oh, but there is a marker on the field. So now the question, who is this on? And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the 1st quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. The return man is Grant. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And firing a deep ball for Kmet. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
2nd and 14. A shotgun snap, Fields. He's going to try and go deep again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. "36 yards on the punt with no return, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. That's caught by his tight end, Kylen Granson. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Now Wentz. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wentz going to give this to Taylor, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A give for Taylor running right side. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the 1st with Taylor. And he's got the 1st as they bring it down at the 28-yard line.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And down inside the 15 he goes. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Can we just take that run and turn it into kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
5 yards remain on second down.
Here's Wentz to throw. Toward the pylon, caught.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, that play's not going to go in their highlight reel at the end of the season, but the only benefit to the offense, maybe a little more space if they want to throw the football now after taking that loss.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. To throw is Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off with great anticipation. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Fields throw pulled in by Robinson here.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Bears first down.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Fields now to throw. He'll drop this one down to Cohen.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Fields on first down.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Fields.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
To throw is Fields.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
That's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks. We have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carping them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
Bring it.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Grant sets to return it. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Flush to his right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And This effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Colt offense and T.Y. Hilton making their way back out. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw here pulled in by Hilton.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Or after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
Second and 12.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Robert Quinn drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down. That fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Back to throw, Fields.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Fields on 3rd down.
That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run.
On third down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Now Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Second and 7. Here's Fields.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
Here's Fields.
Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
1st down, Bears.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball. Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
There is another young tackle. A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here.
Now it's Fields.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Calling a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
And the number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And the next-gen stat's going to show that sack carried out in just 2.5 seconds from beginning to end.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
And here's Rodgers to return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Robert Quinn able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing second and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town at second and a country mile.
Wentz's throw taken in by Pascal.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one.
Looking deep for Hilton. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Onto the field now come the Bears.
The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. And this series could very well determine our outcome.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
2nd and 5.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Fields.
And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney
there to make the grab. And the Bears have retaken the lead.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the fourth quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the fourth quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Now a throw here to his running back. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run.
And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Robert Quinn in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Wentz to throw. This goes out right to Doyle. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Here comes Grant on the return.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started.
They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, Fields. Able to complete it to Montgomery.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
Six yards left on 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Fields. Incomplete.
Fields pass. Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. It's 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
He's going to sling this deep downfield.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now Wentz. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. The return man is Grant.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition, Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
2nd down and 8.
Now a first throw here in overtime. Escaping the pressure, and he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Back to throw. Fields. Oh, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Julian Blackmon.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Well, we were on hand for a fun and